So I just finished an afternoon of coaching, and I had two sessions back to back that had the same topic come up, and it's a good one. It's an important one. So I just wanted to talk about it a little bit, and it's this resistance to going out and sort of hustling when you need something, like in particular with work, whether it's a job that you think you should have, or you've written a screenplay, you have a film, you have a TV series idea. It doesn't really matter what industry you're in. It's just the idea of beating down people's doors to get it because the few people you've hit have not responded. And, the two people I was speaking to just felt like they just feel really uncomfortable with repeatedly, hitting someone up who they've already hit, or reaching out to people that they don't know or that are in super high positions of power. And it felt desperate and kind of pandering to them. And when they saw people who they felt were less talented out there getting the work, because they're out there hustling, there was some judgment around the type of personality that person had, or, I can't do that kind of thing. It's, it's cheesy, it's corny. And the more we talked about it, a lot of that judgment is likely envy of a quality that, a lot of us don't have. A lot of people have amazing ideas and they don't feel comfortable telling someone why they're special or what they're doing is important. That feels uncomfortable to people. But I think it's important to realize that when you have that, the judgment is likely envy, and it's fueled by fear, which is fear of failure, fear of rejection. What happens when you're stuck in that is you're stuck and you're not getting what you want, and you're not getting the job or the career that you hope to have. It's the most common thing that I talk about with people. And a lot of it is, the more you dig in, is, do you feel that the people that you're hitting are judging you because you've hit them 2 or 3 times? Yes. The reality is the people that you're hitting are people who want to find good talent. They want to find people to come work in their company that's going to make it better. Nobody's judging you when you tell them why you have something important that they should pay attention to. That they want good stuff. Seeking what you need is not corny or desperate. It's essential, or else you're not going to get where you want to go. The scenario, where someone you view as less than gets the work, and then that judgment comes in, and you feel this type of, hustling is lame or corny. We get to set the narrative. You can say whatever you want to someone. You get to write that script. So write one that doesn't feel desperate or corny. The anger or resentment at yourself or others when you're not getting ahead, not only, feels bad, nothing's worse than negative self-talk. If you shit talk yourself, or if you're spending time being angry that others have more than you, all it does is keep you stuck. It doesn't allow for movement forward. It's a waste of time, and it keeps you from what you want, and it makes you feel like shit at the same time. So there's zero win in any of that kind of mindset. Reach out to people and reach beyond your circle. I always say aim high. Reach out to people who are the top of a company, or I have many instances where, like, very famous people I work for or with, I represent, they have had unknown people reach out to them in music, and they somehow saw their DM email, however it came to them, and they got a conversation going, and those people now make tens of millions of dollars. That's a real situation. Is it common? No, of course not. A big problem that I see is when people don't get a response, they think it's a rejection. Well, I already hit that person up once. I hit them twice. They never responded. Obviously, they don't care. That is not the situation. If you're hitting up busy people and you don't get a response, you need to keep hitting them over and over, because they just simply are not seeing it. I guarantee they are not seeing it. I've had it happen for 25 years in the industry that I'm in, where I do it to people, or it happens now with me. Everybody's just trying to get their work done. Nobody finishes the day when you're in a position of a busy life where you have the ability to help people get jobs or deals. Nobody's done at the end of the day like, oh, I'm all done with my work. Now I'm just going to go home and like read books and chill. it's actually nobody's ever done with their work. So when they're getting emails and texts from people they don't know, they often just get ignored because they're just trying to keep up. So no response is not no rejection. Keep hitting them up. The most successful people in the world did not get there by hitting one person, didn't get a response, then they're done. You have to knock on 1,000,000 doors, and most of them don't open. And when one does, and you get one opportunity, and you get to start doing your thing, then it gets moving and it becomes easier. It can ebb and flow in a career. But the point is that don't take it personally and don't assume. Don't assume that they don't like your work. Don't take it personally like you're not important enough to get on their radar. If you do that, you're going to just feel bad and you're not going to get any movement, and it's going to stop you from reaching out to other people. Aim for high profile people. It's okay to aim high and then aim at their assistants, ask a friend. When I say aim, that might be the wrong language. That sounds, again, for people, if you're nervous about coming off like a hustler, that kind of language might make you feel weird. You're simply talking to human beings who also had to do what you do. Right now, if you are feeling stuck and you want someone to notice what you're doing, someone that you're hitting has felt that way before. These are all just human beings. They are not deities. They are not gods and goddesses, okay? I don't care if you're hitting the president of Netflix or one of the top agents at William Morris or, the head of HR at some insurance company that you want to be a part of. Whatever it is your career is, on the other side of that DM or email or text or however you're hitting them is a human being who also has insecurities and also has issues with negative self-talk. I'm telling you, I work with the presidents of major media companies down to like broke college kids, and they all report the same thing. There's a lot of negative self-talk. It doesn't matter where you're at in your life. So just remember that they are human beings in the same way that you are, and they have a bunch of stuff that stresses them out, and they have a bunch of stuff that they don't feel good about themselves with. So I only encourage that because it makes writing that email a little less daunting when you kind of take them off the pedestal and you bring them down to just like, this person was like me at one point. The repetitiveness of hitting up people you don't know is important if you're trying to get something across that you need to get done for yourself. It's your career, or it's your life, or your life's work. I had a situation where a person DM'd me, and I just was looking through my DMs for someone else, happened to see this DM, went back and realized this person hit me like 5 or 6 times in the last 6 months. And I ignored every one of them simply because I didn't know who they were, and I wasn't looking in that thread. And, that person could have taken it like, I don't think they're of value. I think what happened, because they kept hitting me, was they assumed I just didn't see it. When I looked and I saw what they do, finally had a conversation, heard more, this person has incredible work, and I have now put them to many people to get work. That's one of many examples that happens daily in life in any industry. If that person hit me once and I didn't respond and they took it personally, or they were resentful, or they just thought that they sucked, nothing would have happened, and this person wouldn't be, gaining any benefit from the stuff that's happening now. We start out in life being able to ask for what we want. Children ask whoever's around for what they want. And our parenting, life circumstance, things that happen starts to beat that down. And sometimes people can get to the point where asking for their needs or what they want becomes almost impossible. And that is a muscle that needs to be worked on and developed. And I highly encourage you to do it. The more you can ask for what you want, even if we're just starting with talking about career, it turns into, you use that in your life for everything. Being able to speak your needs and what you want is so important. So the gist is, if you don't put it out there, you're not going to get anything back. The job you want, or the art you want people to see, or your ideas that are so good that need to be out in the world, don't waste your time resenting people who are less valuable than you, in your opinion, who are winning. It's a waste of time. It doesn't matter if you feel uncomfortable emailing or DMing or looking up a bunch of people that you don't know, or people that you do know but you don't think they're going to care what you have to say. Just push through it. That's the like lifting of the weights, so to speak. Like, that's the muscle you're building. You're like, this sucks, I hate doing this feels so weird. Like, who likes doing that? But do it anyway. And when you get through it and you put it out there and you're controlling the narrative so you don't sound like a cornball, you're not desperate, you're just simply saying, here's what I've got and this is what I'd like you to consider. And you might have to say it multiple times. And that's it. It's not simple, but it's that simple. So I hope this helps. You can DM me, and if I'm not overwhelmed, I'll look at it and I'll try to help